Oh, you damn right. SEC time for the Longhorns. Finally, there will be the team to jump in. No SEC team except Texas has yet to play a game. They'll get into it this week. OB Live on a Friday. First and foremost, shout out to Jeff Ketchum and his family. There's a family funeral today that he is attending in my hometown, actually, of Waxahachie. Hope everybody is safe and sound there. Obviously, rest in peace and all the peace in the world going to the Ketchum family. Hope everybody has a safe trip to and from. A lot to get to today as Texas gets ready for Florida. Kind of late breaking stuff, little bits of information for you. Plus, I also want your comments. Obviously, without Catch on the show, maybe a little more room for chats and super chats. We love those super chats. Throw them in, but I want to hear your predictions. Rodolfo didn't even wait for me to ask. 23-6. That'd be an interesting version, Rodolfo. I like that. That's about my margin, too. You're at 17. I'm at 18. I'm at 28-10 Texas. That's where I think it's going to be. Texas Boss Horn says 20-13. Let me know what you think on the prediction as we talk about the game. So here's the stuff that we need to jump into. First off, I thought after reading the War Room and seeing a great comment that Jeff Ketchum got from a source, thought we'd build the show around it because Texas fans, we've been saying it for weeks. We've been saying it since the beginning of the year. I've been talking about zeros and ones. You saw 0 and 1 step up against Sam Houston State on offense. Probably feel pretty good about that. Number 0 on defense has had his moments here and there. We feel like we've seen Anthony Hill. But what we haven't seen yet is full blast, full blown, full gear Colin Simmons. And I think we see it this week. And here's the quote from a source in the War Room. And I put part of it on the thumbnail to try to bring you in, that clickbait stuff. Quote, Colin came to Texas to be SEC Player of the Week in exactly this kind of game. Yep. Couldn't agree more. That's a great way to say it. That's how they're feeling behind the scenes. That's how they're feeling around the team. This is his opportunity to get going. Because if your defensive edge attack weapon cannot get going against the Florida offense, you just may not have the defensive attack edge weapon you think you have. I firmly believe Colin Simmons is that beast, and I think he's going to get unlocked this week. The Florida offense is 113 in total offense. They are 88 in passing offense. They are 106 in rushing offense. And I'm not sure they're that good. I don't know who's worse to watch on offense, Florida or Auburn. I just watched Auburn play a whole game against the Aggies. Then I actually watched it again because I'm sick. I do not need to see that offense play anymore. I think they might be a little clunkier, but I love to use the word clunky when it applies on offense. Florida, capital C, all letters in capital letters. Clunky, this Florida offense. So I really think this is an opportunity for Colin Simmons. This is a weird super chat to start with. Let's do it. $5 super chat. Chad, without your glasses, you look like Napier. Can you take them off and do the entire show looking like him? I've never done a name. Let's just see. We're in Florida. I mean, we just got to play. I mean, we just got to put the talent out there, man. We just got to go. Yeah. There you go. I never thought of it. Maybe I do look like Napier. Then one name I've gotten more consistently than any other is John Kitna. Kids, go look it up. That's the one that they say I look like. Jay, thank you for that $5 super chat to get us started. Let me know what you think of the game. Give me your predictions, whatever is on your mind. Colby, I totally agree with you. No chance Florida can score 21 on Texas. I agree. They're not getting there. I got 28-10. 28-10, and I hope I have to apologize to the defense because it's really 28-6 or 28-3 or 28-0. I don't know if they'll shut them out, but I think they're going to be able to hold them down. I don't think there's any doubt about that. So that's my first focus today is Colin Simmons. I do think this is an opportunity for the Texas defense. I've been telling y'all all season how good I think the Texas defense is. Ketch and I talk about it all the time. It's not something you like to lean into as a fan base. I get it. We're not trained to love defense. You're not trained to appreciate what it is. But I have said it for these last couple of weeks as the offense is trying to find themselves and as they have looked a little clunky at times. Just keep telling yourself, all these offenses you might be scared of, they have to face the Texas defense. Give me a completely healthy DJ Lagway. I still take the Texas defense. Give me John Mateer at his healthiest. Hand feels good. He's just eating at Chipotle. I'll still take the Texas defense. And you know what? I watch that A&M offense as close as anybody. I've seen them play. That game's in Austin. Right now, I'll take the Texas defense. In that matchup, I will take the Texas defense. Until the Aggies show me the ability to consistently run the ball every time they need to, until they show me a little more of a dynamic passing attack, I'm going to go with the Texas defense. I think you guys are going to finally see, hopefully, the whole team you want, but I hope you get to appreciate this defense this week because I think they're going to put Florida in an absolute meat grinder. I don't think Florida's going to be able to do much of anything. I think it's going to look immediate. I think it's going to look that way quickly. And now the question is, if we think about it, take everything we've seen of the Texas defense. What if we dial up the zeros and the ones? If we dial up Colin Simmons and Anthony Hill, and hopefully you've been to orangebloods.com, your QR code is right there, upper left corner for you. Go to the QR code, get signed up for orangebloods.com, headed into conference play. It's perfect timing. Alex Dunlap in the deep dig has been telling you for weeks about the usage of Anthony Hill. They're not using him in the exact way that they're probably going to use him when we find our way to SEC play. He's been talking about this game for a while and what might happen in Gainesville. Watch 0 and watch number 1 in this game and the attack of this defense. They're already tackling like that. They already play like that. In terms of the injury report, we'll get to that. There is maybe one defensive guy we need to talk about, and we'll get to the offensive side. So if you missed the updated injury report, good news, the probables. Mosley and Wisner move into the probable category, along with Kobe Black and Filsaime. If I'm not mistaken, all those guys were questionable, and now they've moved to probable. So that's all good news. By the way, if you want to get nerdy, I actually read this today on the SEC website. The SEC wants the teams to think about it this way. When they say doubtful, that's 25% chance to play. When they say questionable, that's 50%. And when they say probable, 75%, just so you know. So the one person I would bring up on defense, again, feels like Kobe Black is getting better. He's probable. Manny Muhammad is listed as questionable. That one still sticks out to me. Let's pay attention tonight to the injury report. And remember, there's the one 90 minutes before kickoff where you've got to designate one of 3 ways. Either you're ready for the game, available, your game time decision, or you're out. Those are the only 3 things you can have an hour and a half before. So tomorrow at 1 o'clock Central Time, 90 minutes before the game, that's when we'll take another look. But Muhammad being questionable, maybe that's a little something to look for. Now, if there's ever a game where maybe Muhammad being out, Texas can still survive it, 1, because they've got great DBs anyway, but 2, this Florida offense, back to it. I literally, right as the show was about to start, I'm like, yeah, because Florida's receivers are, I had to look it up. I could fake it and say I knew the name Vernell Brown. I had to look it up. I'm staring at it right now. Sturdivant, had to look it up. Their tight end has 15 catches. Hayden Hansen, I think I remember him. Jaden Ball is the only name I know because he's the running back that they want to get going, but they can't get going. So, yeah, it's going to be a game where I think Texas will be able to survive this on defense if Muhammad doesn't play because they have such good depth at the at the DB spot. Texas, I agree with you. It sucks. No Ketchum today. But again, all the best to Ketchum and his family. He's attending a family funeral today. But I'll hold it down for you. Try to get the updated information to you. Talked about Colin Simmons and that comment from the War Room. Obviously, go to orangebloods.com for the whole War Room. The other bit of, I just think, terrific news is Emmett Mosley. We've said it throughout the week, and now there's a report out from CBS yesterday saying that they had a source telling them Mosley's going to play. But we've been telling you that really all week because every indication was he was going to play. Arch made the comment about Mosley. Then Livingston made it. Then Steve Sarkisian wouldn't run from it. And so there's all this stuff, and I can't wait to see how he fits in. So here's something else to find comfort in as you go into this game. If you're a Texas fan, this is as close to full power on offense as you're going to get. Now, Steve Sarkisian would tell us all, I want a completely healthy Wisner and a completely healthy Baxter and Mosley, and then we'll talk about full power. I get it. But deep down, he knew Baxter was going to take some time. I firmly believe that. I don't know that he ever thought he was going to get the Baxter being able to give us what he's given so far has been pretty amazing, but he wasn't at, all the way back. If you can get Wisner and Mosley back, I think we start to see a little bit more of the vision of this, a little bit more of the vision of this offense, of what he wants it to be. Let's remember, it feels like so long ago we talked about Mosley. It almost feels like 4 years ago in the portal they got Emmett Mosley. But I went back and I went back to the highlight package of Emmett Mosley. It's like 10 minutes long if you want to go watch it. It's not bad. And I really forgot. I'd forgotten some things. I knew I liked him. I was like, let me go remind myself, what is it I like about him? So 6'2", 205. If you remember all the other guys we talked about in the portal, he's a little bigger than them. So Concepcion and Craver at A&M, Singleton that ended up at Auburn, all those type of guys. He's bigger than those guys. And maybe you could say, bigger and maybe not quite as sudden as those guys. But I really like what he does, because what he is, when you do the comparison, Parker Livingston's been pretty amazing for this team when you really think about it. With DeAndre Moore out to start and Mosley's been out, for Livingston to step in like he has and help this team out has been great. But you're asking a freshman to do that. Mosley's not a senior, but he does have that full year. Almost 50 catches, 48 catches, over 500 yards, 6 touchdowns in his year at Stanford. So you're getting more experience there. Plus, it's just packaged a little bit differently. Instead of being up there at 6'4", where Livingston is, 6'2", 205. A little more physical in some ways, not as wiry in some ways. Maybe a little less reach, obviously, on certain plays. But I love the way he runs routes, and I love the possibilities. Stanford moved him around in all kinds of different situations. I also have heard the Football with Friends guys, Cody and Alex, talking about how well he blocks. Chris Jackson has talked about it way back before the season started, when all the coaches met with the media and all the different position coaches met. When Mosley was discussed, the blocking was discussed pretty immediately. And the guys like to talk about, right, no block, no rock. He's all about that. So let's watch the blocking element of number 3. But then the routes are good. The hands are good. The comment from the war room last night that could get you excited. Arch feels like when he throws it to Mosley that nothing bad happens. Oh, my God. I mean, that's the definition of the insurance blanket, right? Of the, what do you call it? Your whoopee, the comfort blanket. And that's what you want. You want a receiver that feels that way. Plus, with Mosley in, it changes the whole lineup of everything. It's almost a baseball analogy. Get your number, whatever you'd call him, right? You get your 3-hitter back, your 4-hitter, your 5, whatever he is. Now you reslot everybody. How does that change opportunities for DeAndre Moore? How does it make the defense look differently at Wingo and give him opportunities? What about Jack injuries? Because Sark's plan all along has been, if you want to call it this, the ACC transfer plan, right? The Stanford guy and the Cal guy. And he wants to put them together on the field and show us what that means. This is the first opportunity, and it's the game after. Arch Manning and the offense found some timing and some rhythm, and then you give him a week off, and Mosley's healthier, and maybe Wisner's healthier because he's probable too. I think we're going to see this Texas offense start to click in the way Sark wants it to. You get to see that. That I think is definitely something to look forward to. All right, here's something else to look forward to. The game itself. Let's talk about TCH Social Austin, because that's where we're going. Check these specials out. $2 select drafts. That means $2 Stella and $3 jellyfish. Are you kidding me? $3 jellyfish plus the Fanatic cocktail. I've had it. It's damn tasty. That's $4. $12 for the 8 wings. The wings are awesome. You know what else is awesome? The salmon. That's probably what I'm going to have tomorrow because I can't get away from the Cajun salmon. It's awesome. You know what I had the last time I didn't have the salmon? The meatloaf. It was awesome. And yes, there was a side of bad beat bacon with both of them. There's bacon in the upper left And there's bacon in the upper right. Make sure you order some bad beat bacon. Also, make sure you pile on into the post-game show. We hope it's a 2-minute warning kind of deal because Texas is handling that business. Lowy Law Firm sponsors it. We always get you all the info you want in the post-game, plus Anwar checks in from the site, which, of course, is the Swamp this week. So Anwar will give you the very latest once Steve Sarkisian talks to the media. Get in for the post-game show. And again, let me show you those specials one more time. $3 jellyfish, gang. $3 jellyfish. Come see us at the watch party. ATX Bates, Barb's 10, our two main regulars. I hope to see you guys out there tomorrow, and come check us out at TCH Social Austin. If you guys want to jump in the chat, feel free. Give me your predictions. Give me your thoughts. It might be a little bit relatively a shorter show today. Although there's a rant at the end before the Scottish guy. There's a rant, and then there's the Scottish guy today. So hopefully you can deal with that. But thank you all for jumping in. Again, you got Colin Simmons waiting to get unlocked, hopefully. Emmett Mosley coming back off the injury. I think all that's important. Let's hit the weather. Somebody mentioned that in the chat. I checked the weather this morning. Feels like the story's getting a little bit better, where it doesn't feel like it's as crazy as they were thinking. I'm looking in the 3 o'clock Eastern hour when the game kicks, 43% going down to 30%, as high as 45%. So not that crazy. The biggest thing I'd hope for if I'm a Texas fan is it'll rain a little, but you hope whatever it does, it goes away pretty quickly. And then also you just don't get the lightning stuff because you don't want to have to take the break. That's the only thing that would drive me crazy right now as a player or coach is the stinking breaks. 40 minutes, 45. I mean, they want to be safe. I get that, but it's like 45 on a lightning hit, and we got like an hour for the, oh my God. That's not good. So overall, the rain stuff looks, I think, pretty good. That looks pretty good right now. All right, let's see. What do we need here? Patrick's throwing out names. Colin, Arch, Anthony. Patrick, that's a great combo. And I think you're going to get good versions of all of them. And you know what? I was looking at Arch Manning's numbers. It's so weird how negative fans can get, how negative media can get on somebody. Arch's rating in the the San Jose State game was like 180 something. It was up in the 180s. And people have just thrown it away. They threw it away. 180s. And I'll keep bringing it up, a 5-minute stretch that he doesn't get credit for. Why? Touchdown pass. Defense forces a turnover. Another touchdown. Defense forces a turnover. Another touchdown. Defense forces a turnover. Another touchdown. It's 28-0. He gets no credit for that. None. It's crazy. The thing I might be most wrong about on this season was I thought whatever went wrong, it'd be somebody else's fault and not Arch. But I did not think that he'd have the stretch of like, again, the weird mechanics, bad mechanics, missing the 10 in a row eventually against UTEP. I didn't predict that. But once that happened, then I think the fan mindset just changed and the media mindset changed. Then it was, no matter what happens with this team, it's all Arch's fault. It's just all his fault. And rip him and blame him and blah, all just, I don't get it. I don't understand. And I do think people are missing what happened in the Sam Houston State game. It's really easy to throw them away. There's two things we throw away as fans that I don't think are fair. We throw away those kind of games, the 55-0s, and sometimes we throw away close wins like they're nothing, like they're meaningless. Oh, my God, it needed to look so much better than that. They were sloppy. They were this. They were that. Right, but they won 17-14 on the road or whatever it is. We don't always seem to give credit for those things. Like we don't. Right now, when people talk about like Ole Miss going to Kentucky, they talk about it in bad terms, not good terms, because they went on the road and they won by 7. Somehow that's not looked at as a good thing. That's looked at as They only beat Arkansas by 1 score. People look at that as a bad thing. Yeah, well, the only one scored Arkansas. You don't want to give them credit though for winning. You don't want to do that. Okay. Colby throwing an interesting one in. Wind gusts still upwards of 30 miles an hour. I hadn't seen that, Colby, if that's true. Yeah, I'd seen it like 10 to 15 somewhere in there. If you got wind gusts, it could be something. extra important that the run game is there. Wisner is such a big part of this deal because it looks like it's no Baxter, but Wisner gets to play. And it's funny, we threw out an extra outsiders today at 10 if you want to go check it out. Guys making their predictions and stuff. And Bo Edge threw Jarrett Gibson's name out. And I wonder if he's that other running back. Like, who's the other guy? If you have to if let's say Wisner's good, but you got to have another counterpunch. Is it Gibson? We're still trying to kind of figure out who it is. To me, it might be number 9 because I do think when it comes to put your foot in the ground and head up field, right now he's the best guy for me that Texas has. So can he be that other dude? All right. Nick says 38-20. Nick, I like the way you're thinking. I didn't quite go that high, and I don't know if I agree with this, that it's impossible, but I would overall, I'm not going up to 38. This Florida defense will hang in, man. They're a gritty bunch. They are as gritty as their offense is clunky, and their offense won't help them out over and over. I rewatched that whole LSU game. If you want to watch a defense hang on when their offense is just serving up nothing, go watch LSU and Florida. Go find that game. The final was, 20-10, if I'm not mistaken. And the last LSU touchdown was a pick 6 that Lagway served them up. That defense fought like hell. So that part of this game I absolutely respect. Total defense, Florida's 22nd in the country for what it's worth right now. Pass defense is 32nd. Texas throwing the ball is 62nd in the country. That's a matchup that should favor Florida. The matchup of the game for me, it's Texas running the ball because those numbers are close if you care about stats. 37 in the country running the ball for Texas, 33 defending it for Florida. That's the matchup. That's the thing I'm watching maybe more than anything else. Do you need Arch to carry it a little bit on that little outside sweep? Set that thing up well. Where are some maybe jet sweeps? Does Mosley factor in there? Is he involved in a jet sweep at all? What kind of routes do they love to run with Mosley? He can run them. He can run a lot of them. Something else to keep in mind, if you go peek at that Mosley highlight package from last year at Stanford, every once in a while, peek at the score of the game because that dude stays focused in a way that maybe he wouldn't be expected to. He's at Stanford. They're getting smashed, and he's a freshman. But they played him mid to late season, and he's making play after play after play. The big catch he makes against Clemson, it's a great touchdown catch. Goes over, it's not quite an OBJ. It's not that, but it's 2 hands. He barely gets the foot down. He hits the pylon on the way in. Go look at the score. That makes it like 40-7 Clemson. This dude makes big plays, staying focused in all those moments, and now he gets moments that really matter. Now he gets games that really matter. I can't wait to see it. I cannot wait to see it. I think y'all are going to love him. I think you're going to love him in theory. I think you're going to love him the way you loved Matthew Golden. Now, he's not that because just like the other guys I mentioned, he's bigger than that. He's going to be a little bigger than that, and he's not going to be quite that sudden. He's not going to be quite that quick. But what I mean is, I think you're going to appreciate him where maybe you hadn't thought of it. Remember last year when Golden you were thinking of Bond and you were thinking of other guys. And then when Golden became Golden, it was like, oh, so those reports about Quinn and Golden and their relationship, that did really matter. Okay. And I'm telling you, there's a report in the war room that Arch thinks when he throws to Mosley that bad things can't happen. From what we've seen so far, that's a great indicator to me, is find that guy. If he's that comfortable with him, let it roll. Let's see what this all looks like. So, I considered putting the phrase full power on the thumbnail today and kind of framing it around Mosley. But then I saw the comment about Simmons and I thought that was the way to go. But that's what I wonder. Is this going to be full power? Is it going to feel a little more, all gas, no brakes, to use the phrase? I feel like we're going to see a little bit more of what this offense can really do, especially if the defense contains Florida over and over. Because I think that's what's going to happen. I think early on, you're going to get the sense of, oh man, Florida can't score. Okay, so don't make big mistakes, which Arch has not done. Another thing he's not getting credit for, he is not getting credit for not being sloppy because he hasn't been that way. 3 interceptions, resulting in 1 touchdown the other way on a 68-yard drive. The other 2 resulted in nothing because he threw them on that end of the field too, and his defense came up for him. No problem. His defense bailed him out of those situations. That's what has happened. That's what has happened. Rome 77 for $4.99. Thank you, Rome. Mosley fits into the mold of an Anquan Bolden. Amon-Ra St. Brown, possession playmaker, lacks artistry / fluidity, but high IQ. I kind of dig that. And I love those 2 guys. Rome, Texas fans will be on their knees thanking the football gods if they get that. If it kids, if y'all don't remember Anquan Bolden, not the pros. Go back to the Florida State version. He was something. He was something to see. And then Amon-Ra, yeah, okay, that's good. I kind of like that comp. I think there's a lot to it. A lot of different routes. A lot of the IQ part, I think, is totally fair. But yeah, I like the way he goes about his business, and it's good. Yeah, Sandman, he hasn't. I know why you're asking this question, but again, what I mean is with turnovers. Did you have the bad mechanics? Sure. The mechanics stuff, if you want to call that sloppy, fine. I mean in terms of hanging his defense out to dry, pick sixes, scoop score fumbles, turn it over in a bad spot. Remember that interception that Arch threw coming out on the 8-yard line, and it was the worst pass you've ever seen? Yeah, I don't either, because it didn't happen. That's what I mean. That's what I mean by sloppy. That kind of sloppy. He has not been. And by the way, whatever you're thinking of, he fixed it. He fixed it. You don't believe he fixed it. He told somebody he fixed it the week of the game. And then he went out and put together a 200 and whatever it was passer rating against Sam Houston State. But you don't want to believe it. So that's really about you at that point. I believe it. I'm choosing to believe. I believe he found it. Whatever it was, I believe he found it. Does that mean he's going to go out and be elite and they're going to – I don't know. I just think they found it. I feel like in my mind we're back to kind of a mid-level, back to a 0-level point where it's like, okay, this is about what I thought I would see. Now let's see what the rest of the season looks like. Patrick starts it with still nervous, $5. Still nervous about this game. Florida has good players, has been hearing they suck for 2 weeks, and are at home. Perfect setup for an upset. Yep. You're right, Patrick. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. You're right. Welcome to SEC blue blood status. That's exactly where you are. You have all kinds of games like that. All kinds of games. You know what the next game's going to be? Oklahoma's that way. Now Oklahoma's a little more blue bloodish than those. Whatever. I get it. These are 2 big names you're about to play. We could say the same thing for Mississippi State. We might be able to even say the same thing for Kentucky. All these teams can beat you. All of them can. Right now, I'd pick you to beat them. But yeah, yes. I totally get what you're saying. But once the football starts to matter, I think it's going to be pretty clear that Texas is the better team. Plus, Patrick, the other ingredient here, plenty of great things always to check out in the war room. Great stuff from the fellas this week from Gainesville. Man, they're down on this team. They're down on this team, and I know that can be dangerous and all that. But some of the things they're talking about, one of the elements that I've been thinking about this week, if Texas gets an early lead, that crowd is going to sit on Billy Napier. They're going to boo everything he does because a lot of them have already decided it's not him, that it's over. So then Texas can help fuel that anger and that vitriol to their team so that every time the Florida punter has to run out, you're going to hear just a sea of boos. And it's going to infect that Florida team. It's going to crawl inside of DJ Lagway's brain. Have you seen DJ Lagway's eyes lately? Look at that kid's eyes tomorrow. He is in a world of pain. He has no idea what's going on. He does not know how to trust what he's seeing. I've heard, and then some of the guys this week got great comments from Gainesville about his feet. One of the sources said, watch his feet. He doesn't trust anything he's seeing. He looks like he's so sped up right now. Everything is sped up. He threw 5 picks against LSU. It felt like it could have been 8. Like if Texas can get on Florida and get on them early, this is one of those big time, get an early start. It would be incredible to do it. I'd defer like crazy in this game both ways, because if I'm Florida, I don't want my offense on the field. And if I'm Texas, I want my defense on the field as much as possible. This really should be the game. And I'd say it to the defense this way. Pete Kwiatkowski should sit that whole defense down, and he should get Colin Simmons to stand up. And he should tell the rest of them, we're going to introduce the country to that guy. That's what this week is about. I love all of you. You're all badass. You're all going to make plays. You're all going to tackle well because that's what you've done. But we're going to show him what Colin's all about. We're going to get him SEC Defensive Player of the Week for sure, and we're going to smash this team. We're going to make it feel like they can't get first downs, period. We're going to make it feel like if they get 5 first downs in this game, it's a miracle. That's what we're going to do. That is what we're going to do. That's how I would phrase it. And that's, again, it's why I kind of framed the show this way. I thought that comment in the war room was excellent for Colin Simmons. That's what this team needs to do, is to set him off. All right. I like this prediction. Let me throw that in. I'm going to mark that. Mike, I like that. We'll get the little prediction in. If you want to throw your prediction into the chat, feel free. If you want to throw me a super chat, we will do that. I do have Scottish Guy coming before the end of the show, plus maybe a little bit of a rant because, well, it happened again last night. Let's hear from AV Consultations, though. If you need a great setup, this is your place. Here's Tom and Camilla.
This is The Kid with Audiovisual Consultations.
And I'm Tom McKay, owner of Audiovisual Consultations.
And we wanted to prepare you for another incredible season of sports. Football is upon us.
And hockey season is upon us, too.
And everyone here at AVC wants to make you feel like the real winner, even if your team doesn't make it to the playoffs.
Well, I know you're not talking about the Stars, so you must be talking about your Bruins. You're going down this year, kid. It's numbers game. Just check the stats.
Well, why not check ours? AVC has been servicing homes and businesses with surveillance, sound, and visual setups for almost 40 years, and we've never come in second place.
That's right, kid.
If you want to ensure a win this season, call Audiovisual Consultations. We've got a roster of cool stuff, and we're ready to play.
Just give us a call at 512-255-8678. That's 512-255-8678.
Even if your team doesn't take home the cup this season, remember to hug your kids, laugh with strangers, and make love to whoever the hell you want. That's 512-255-8678.
Yes, indeed. How about this prediction from Mike? Arch, 5 touchdowns, 3 passes, 2 rushes. Whew. Well, now you're already up to 35 there, aren't you, Mike? What's your final, Mike? Give me the final score there. What's your prediction? That one sounds pretty nice. What's this one here? Oh, sorry, Mike already gave it to me. That's 5 of the 6, 42-17. Oh my God, could you deal with that, Texas fan? Could you deal with 42-17? Napier's gone at that point. That's the other thing you can think about. You want this game to be a certain way. On the positive end, you want it to push towards, would they fire him like Sam Pittman got fired last week? And then on the negative end, it would be, does it turn into you just got to win? Hey, you just got to win the game. That's the thing, Mike, that everybody's got to deal with in the SEC, that you just don't have to deal with it in certain other conferences. Mark, at a 27-17 still could be a really good number there. Getting a 10-point win on the road, it may turn into that kind of game, Mark. And that's the part of, I would tell any fans in the SEC, but especially the fans of the better teams, you go in with the expectation of you'd like it to look this way. But if it changes on you, you got to change your mindset quickly and be able to appreciate, just get the win. Just win. I always go back to this, one of the championship years at Bama. Nick Saban won a game at Arkansas, 14-13, and they called into the postgame show and they wanted him fired. And I went and watched the whole game back just to make sure, to see what I'd missed. And I just came away from it like, man, he's a badass and that team is really good. And yeah, it didn't go their way, but they found a way. And sometimes you got to do that. Now, don't make it 3 in a row, but find those kind of games. Like it may turn into that. And if it turns into 27-17 and it's a little weird and strange, I still think there's some good things that can come out of it. Here's a 26-9. Ooh, I like that, Carl. 3 field goals, I'm assuming on that. Here's 17-10 with Trills. I think Texas fans could certainly live with that. Here's an interesting one from Joshy. Chad, give us Arch's stat line. I think I'd like to see the attempts living around 20 to 30, but not more than that, because that means you're still running the ball a little bit. So let's say it's 25. I'd love to see that attempt number stick around 25 to 30. So let's say it's, I don't know, like a 20 of 28 kind of thing, something like that. I'm going to say it goes 250, but maybe not 300. Maybe not to 300, but it's between 250 and 300, somewhere in there. I think he throws, I got it 28-10. I'm going to say half are passing touchdowns. I think he throws 2. I don't know that he may have to run another one, though. I'm going to say at least throws 2 touchdown passes. So that would be that's the stat line that would kind of be in my mind right now. Let's see what else we got. Christopher's got 2 predictions. 28-10 Texas. Christopher likes my score there, and he's picking the upset in College Station. Mississippi State 24, A&M 17. Christopher, it's an interesting game there for the Aggies. We'll see if they can get out of it in a game they are favored to win. Patrick says 24-13 Texas. I think Texas fans could certainly live with that one. Paxton 30-13. This one's probably true. Carl might be right here. That'd be really crazy. Yeah, if they can't afford to fire, and that's a whole nother level of craziness. All right, if you want to throw a super chat our way, feel free. Again, catch at a family funeral today. We wish the family nothing but the best. Catch will be with me tomorrow for that watch party. Let me flash it up again. TCH Social Austin, 183 and Anderson Mill. Come see us. Also, remember, if you are out and about anywhere in the great state of Texas, play online poker at hijackpoker.com. Get it on any device you want and get to playing. Come see us at TCH Social Austin tomorrow. We'll fire up Texas and Florida on that big screen, but Vandy and Bama, we'll put that on at the same time. Penn State, UCLA, probably peek in on Penn State there. Feel like that's the move to make. And another game, we might peek in on OU. They're going to play Kent State, but just to see, does Mateer actually try to go, or do they just go with the backup and try to rest Mateer for maybe playing in Dallas? So we'll have all that going at TCH Social Austin. Come on out and see us. Also, as always, we give a big shout out to Specs. If you're staying home and watching the game at your place, make sure you get stocked up.
Texans know for selection and lower prices, it all starts at Specs. Shop Specs! With all your favorites on tap, you'll bring home the win. Boots on, drinks up. The fun starts here. Shop Specs!
Yes, indeed. All right. If you need to throw in any more predictions, feel free. I like seeing the predictions of what people think it's going to be. Mark's got his answer. He likes 16-27, 202 and a touchdown. So maybe I dialed it up a little more than that, Mark, but I love the attempt number. I'd like it to stay right in that area. A few years ago when Kirby's teams were trying to win titles at Georgia, I would always say if their quarterback attempted less than 20 passes, look out, because it usually meant they were running the ball and they were just pounding on people. You had to get him to throw more. I don't know if that's necessarily the case with Arch, but in a game where we think it could rain a little bit, might be a little sloppy, it's against a pretty good defense. I just don't want to have to count on it. I don't want to have to count on asking him to throw 30, 35 balls. So I'm with you. I'd say let's keep it in that area. That's probably good. Let's see. Patrick throws in here. I don't think the Ags lose to Mississippi State at home. Patrick, I agree with you. I got the Aggies winning by like 10. I don't love the line up at 14.5 or whatever it is. I got them by 10, but we just need to see. Last week was weird and a little bit of it was clunky. I'll use the word when it applies, and it did to the Aggie offense. If they try to win this week with 16, they'll lose. They will lose that game. Aggies are 7-6 against Mississippi State in conference, and but this is the first time they've been a top 10 hosting this game. So let's see if they can live up to it. It's kind of what A&M's been about these last few years. It's attain something, but then can you live up to it? Can you prove that you're that good? They just haven't been able to do that. So we'll see what We will see what it is. Joshy, I did not know it was a thing. Are they going to the black as well? I hadn't seen that part. A&M is doing a blackout this weekend. If y'all notice in the Hall of Helmets, I did go with the black helmet for the Aggies. But they're also going to go with black end zones, the black logo in the middle. That's not something they usually do on the blackout. But I had not heard that the Yell Eaters are going to go with black uniforms. If that's true, wow. Well played. Hey, hit every detail. We'll see what it looks like. These are just two teams. Here's the other thing, Joshy, that's weird. These are two teams that wear the exact same colors, so they have freaked out over the years when they play each other. Mississippi State freaked one year and went all white at home and celebrated the Snow Bowl win, the Independence Bowl. Remember that one? They literally put it in the end zone, like hashtag Snow Bowl, which was weird. And then there are times where they've done this, where when they play each other, and that was the year. I can't remember if that was a year A&M wore black, but A&M's worn black in Starkville before, and then one of them will show up. It's almost like they don't want to wear maroon at the same time because they know how similar they look. If one of them just wore when those two show up and wear their basic uniforms, even if you go one wears the colors and one wears the whites, it'll look like a spring game. So I think both of them realize that and they go extreme. So don't be shocked if Mississippi State shows up with the whitest of whites on to face the Aggies in black. Ironically, what you may not see a lot on in that game tomorrow evening is maroon. So I think that'll be it. And Trills, I hope you're right on that one. That's my prediction is Aggies by 10, but we'll see. Hunter, man, would I love to see this for the Texas offense and for all you guys to get the feeling you want to get. Man, that would do it, right? Like I'm picking an 18-point win. But here's what's weird. I think Hunter's score would make you feel better than mine. Mine's 28-10. You'd feel better with 35-17, wouldn't you? Right? Because fans, we're programmed for offense, man. 35 is better than 28, right? Gave up one more touchdown, but we can live with that. We'll live with that. I feel like you might want to see that one a little bit more. With this Texas defense, what I want is everything. I want it to be everything about the other team can't score. So I'd rather have my score. Of course, 35-10 would be better too, right? I'd rather have the Florida score be as low as possible versus needing the Texas score to get in the 30s or 40s. But I'm a kooky defensive fan. Y'all know that. And we'll maybe get into more of that before I'm done. 18-28, 243, 2 touchdowns, 5 carries, 34 yards, and a touchdown. That's not bad right there, Joshy. I think we take that, right? Everybody good? Right? Texas fans, show of hands. You take that. 28. That seems like a good number. Feels like a good number. Yes, Carl, keep saying it to yourself. Ewers made the semis with checkdowns. I'll take it. I think it'll be a little more than checkdowns. Whatever you think of Arch, he's already at a better rating than where Quinn was. We have seen this team take quarterback play and make the most out of it. Arch just needs to find a level that's a little bit above meh. And I think he's kind of already there. Just my opinion. Patrick says, Chad, the Aggies dominated Auburn. They were held down by penalties. Patrick, that was definitely a part of it. I hadn't even looked. Where did it end up? 12, 13, 14. Aggies have been sloppy. They were sloppy at Notre Dame. They were sloppy against Auburn. And it did help that. It turned that game into something else. That was an A&M's better by 2 scores at least. And then it went on that one play, and it turned into, whoa, all right, Aggies just got to win the game. And they did. They found a way to win it. But you're right. It was a dominant performance. Auburn was 0 for 13 on third down and only had 50-something yards rushing. The Aggie defense definitely stepped up and just held all day when they needed to. How about this score from Zach? Zach, you're going to make them a little nervous with 18-14. All right? Come on now. 6 field goals? How dare you? Don't turn it into that South Florida game. Don't do that. 18-14. Come on now. I don't think anybody wants to see that one exactly. I think we need to see some touchdowns. Right? We need to see some touchdowns. All right. Thank you all for the chats and the super chats. Let me see if I can make you hungry one more time at one of my favorite places. Don't forget Taste on Main. Just a preview of a Monday. Maybe you got weird Mondays coming up. Head on out to Taste on Main on a Monday. Lasagna every Monday night with that homemade, it's all scratch made, but that homemade cheese on top. Half-price bottles of wine all day as well. They're right there on Main Street in Buda. Beautiful atmosphere. It's casual, no crazy dress codes. The parking is free. And then you're in downtown Buda. You walk around, maybe hit some antique shops and just have yourself a good time. You'll love the way you're treated, and you will love the food at Taste on Main. Tell Travis, Tamara, and the crew that we said hello. Tell them you heard about it on Orange Bloods Live. I certainly would appreciate that. Make sure you have yourself a good time at Taste on Maine. All right, got Scottish Guy coming before it's over. If you want to send me a super chat, send me your predictions. We can do it. Nick, I'm with you. If you don't, I don't know what Zach's talking about. 6 field goals. No, look, I appreciate a field goal. In fact, I'm about to rant about it, but not 6 of them. That might be a little too much. Cotton, I appreciate you. Thank you for the kind words. All right, before I wrap up, I have 3 things that I want to mention to you. Number 1, I would like you to look in the Hall of Helmets. Meanwhile, back in the Hall of Helmets, I'll make it a little closer for look right up here. Do you see Bucko Bruce? Do you see the Seahawks uniform? If you are like me and you appreciate helmets and uniforms, it's Bucko Bruce against the old Seahawks this Sunday afternoon. Both these teams came into the league the same year. I'm basically the same age. The Bucks are celebrating 50 years of existence this year, and I'm 50. So that maybe magically explains why I'm a Bucks fan. But the Seahawks came in the same year, so it's going to be the old Seahawks stuff, the Jim Zorns, the Kurt Warner running back version, the Steve Largent uniforms against the Doug Williams, the Ricky Bell, the Jimmy Giles, the Hugh Green. That is going head up 3:05 on Sunday. I can't wait. So double throwback, the NFL. I don't know if they've ever done a double throwback. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. So that's number 1. Number 2, I just want to make sure I get it out into the atmosphere on OB Live during a live show. I'm picking Vanderbilt to beat Alabama. I'm tired of hearing about how last year was a fluke, because it wasn't. And this year, Vanderbilt to this point is 4th in the country converting third downs. By way of comparison, Texas is 102 and Florida is 122. Vandy is 4th in converting third downs, and Alabama is 99th defending third downs. Alabama does not run well. Alabama does not defend the run well. And I think Vanderbilt's going to get this thing done. At least I would tell you to take the points. That's at the very least. And yeah, I'm buying in a little bit to the Johnny's going to be there to take a little bit of the attention away from Pavia. I think that could be helpful to Diego. And I think Alabama is a team that needs to throw, and that's how they'll win it. If I'm wrong, it's because the 55th best pass defense in America could not hold up. Vanderbilt did give up a little to Utah State. I wasn't thrilled about that, but I am taking Vanderbilt to win the game. So let me just be fair about my hot take. Paxton, I minimally agree with this. They're going to cover, but I'm going to go the extra step, and I'm saying they win the game. Look at there. Look at my guy, Sal. Look at my guy, Sal in NYC. What up, Sal? Good to hear from you, brother. Good to hear from you. All right, here we go. Chad throwing a $4.99 super chat. Great show, Chad. Have a jellyfish on me. Oh, absolutely. If you insist. 31-13 and a big hook 'em. That would do it, Chad. That would definitely do it. All right, and finally on the show, I want to comment on a comment that I saw on YouTube. So earlier in the week, y'all know I got into what happened in Athens when Kirby Smart didn't want the field goal early in the fourth quarter. And I appreciate all of you for jumping in. Not only if I put a post on orangebloods.com, I love getting on the message boards there, but also feel free to get in the comments and YouTube. We try to get in there and talk about the shows and stuff. And somebody typed this: I'd rather have a coach that's trying to win, not lose. Let's be very clear about what happened in Athens, Georgia last weekend, because I didn't get to all of it. Every detail, every one of them spoke to kicking that field goal. Every detail, except that he's Kirby Smart. That's it. Everything else told him to kick, and he didn't want to kick. We cannot live in a football world where wanting a tie game at 13 minutes to go in that game is seen as a losing mentality. You have to prolong the game so that you can win the game. Kirby didn't do that. He fell behind 14-0. Bama threw all over them early. You know what else Bama did? Converted third downs. They had 19 third down opportunities. Georgia had like 8 or 9. Bama threw the ball better than Georgia. The only thing Georgia did a little better than they did is run. So it was a typical Georgia game. Couldn't throw it well, had to run it. Another reason to kick that field goal. Still didn't want it. Still didn't want it. The crowd had not seen a tie. The crowd had not seen a lead. The crowd had watched their coach go 1-6 against Alabama. He still didn't want the field goal. Could have put some energy into the crowd. He didn't want it. Could have given his defense a little bit of confidence. He didn't want it. And most importantly, he could have ensured that to win the game, Kalen DeBoer in Alabama would have had to, follow me here, score another point. He didn't want that either. And he spit on it. A 25-yard field goal. He said he'd do it 10 times out of 10. That's coaching malpractice. Flat out. He needed to apologize and say it was the wrong choice, but he didn't because he doesn't think it was the wrong choice. He thinks the wrong choice was maybe going tempo, or he thinks he had a bad play call. That wasn't the wrong choice. The wrong choice was not kicking the field goal. You'll never be able to convince me that didn't cost them the game. Yes, it did. For the rest of the game, he got one possession on his own 5. He drove it to midfield, then had to punt. And you know what Bama did? Bama did exactly what they'd done the whole game. He had watched that whole game. He watched them convert third down after third down and take the ball from him, and he still didn't want that field goal. And then they converted more. And then they punted. And then when they needed to, they just ran the clock out. Because that's what they'd been doing. And he didn't force them to score again. It's inexcusable. It's inexcusable. Everybody would have ripped Mike Elko for doing it. You'd have ripped James Franklin for doing it. You'd have ripped Dan Lanning for doing it. What if Brian Schottenheimer did that in the NFL? You'd rip him a new one. But somehow Kirby Smart gets away with it. Why? Because he's won a title? Because he's won a couple? It's a weird reason. It's a weird reason to put all football reason aside and just say, this is what I would do 10 times out of 10. That is wrong 10 times out of 10. Speaking of guys who've won a title, did y'all catch the NFL game last night? Yep. Sean McVay did it. In a way, he did it worse. He had an option that's better than a loss. He didn't take it. About 2 minutes to go. Overtime, 23-20, Niners. Easy field goal. And he didn't take it. That's interesting. Let's see. You're in a league that doesn't involve a committee to choose anything. You're just about math. And the math says, as much as I don't want there to be ties, I know the math. The math says a tie is better than a loss. And you didn't want it. And when the media asked you about it, you apologized and said, bad call, bad call. But you meant the play call. Then later when they said, did you think about the field goal? He went, well, no. And he says, I guess in hindsight, I might have. Might have. He may have even said should have. Yeah, you should have. You should have. Coach after coach after coach is ignoring 3 points. And the reason I'm telling you, Texas fans, is what I said earlier this week. Prep yourself now. Sark's going to do the exact same thing because this is how they are now thinking. They are forgetting about the basic math of this game. They're turning down 3 points, and it's costing them football games. And afterwards, we say stupid things like, I'd rather have a coach who wants to win than lose. Okay. Yesterday when we had Brian Jones from CBS Sports on and I asked him about the game, what's the first thing he said? Why didn't Kirby want the 3? Why is it when he plays Alabama, he doesn't want the 3? There you go. I'll leave it there. Thank you all for liking, subscribing, and getting your notifications. We will leave you on a Friday with the Scottish Guy thoughts before Texas and Florida. Remember to come see us at 183 and Anderson Mill at TCH Social Austin tomorrow for the 2:30 kick. Y'all have a great weekend. We will talk to you on Monday. OU week is next week. Always fun. Y'all take care. See ya.
Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Who'd have thought they'd lead back here where we need ya? Or where yeah, we tease him a lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. Before we get to the Longhorns stomping through the SEC, let's update you on an Arkansas love story. The Hogs and Bobby Petrino have finally, officially found their way back into each other's arms. Kids, if you don't know Uncle Bobby's story, let's review. Petrino was the coach in Portland long ago when he had a motorcycle accident. For reasons known only to the revved-up Robert, he then had a press conference in a neck brace where he said he was alone on that motorcycle. But that was a lie. No, why would someone lie about such a thing? I'm so glad you asked. You lied to the media and your bosses when you weren't alone at all. You were with a woman who wasn't your wife, and she's on the staff 'cause you got her a job 'cause, you know, she's your motorcycle riding, not your wife buddy. Yes, kiddies, the SEC has been SECing a long time. Enjoy the bad football, pig boy. Texas will see you in November. All right, time for the SEC and a team so scared of the Horns, their QB seems to get hurt before the game even starts. Last year, it was an Ivy League prof or something. This season, it's what's left of DJ Lagway. DJ, thanks to you and old Hot Seat Napier for making Texas feel better about their offense. Next to your 2 of a football machine, the Horn 6 almost feels like a 10. Good luck getting first downs, much less touchdowns. Word to the wise, Billy, get some boxes. UT62, step 1 towards the ATL. 3, this is SG. UHAUL.